So you got the main event. We can't wait against Jorge Masvidal, the rematch. You beat him by unanimous decision July of last year. You recently said he's a tough fighter, but you're an elite fighter. What did you mean by that?
Yes, I mean, first of all, we call him George. We don't call him Jorge. He don't get Jorge. It's George, and yes, I give credit where credit is due. He's a good fighter, which is why he's still around. He's been around for all these years because he's a good fighter. But I'm a great fighter. I'm an elite fighter. There's a separation. There's levels to this, which is why look at my record. Look at his record. Look how many fights he's had, and look how many fights I've had. To become champion and to continue to reign as champion. The reason he's in this position right now is because I put him there. He's a good fighter, very, very good fighter. I take nothing away from him, but there's levels to this, and I'm levels above him.
Now, first of all, it's an honor to have you on the show, my brother. Normally, I would say such things are blasphemous. I would say that, but not when it comes to you, because I'm a Masvidal fan because I think he's incredibly exciting and what have you. But you are right. There are levels to this, and you are the elite as far as I'm concerned within the welterweight division right now. How important is it for you to win this fight in dramatic fashion when you think about the Francis Ngannou and others? There are some exciting fighters, not just winners, but exciting fighters. Do you believe it's important for you to win this in an exciting fashion, or is it just about just finishing the job for you?
No, that is definitely important. At some point in my career, it was about winning because you have to get to the top. You're climbing. And you can't climb if you stumbling every time you take a step and you fall back. So it was about winning and getting to that point. And I've done that. I've showed the world that I'm the best that there is right now. And at this point, I'm starting to have fun with my career. I'm starting to open up. I'm starting to learn new things, new tricks, and we're seeing the results of that. And so in this fight, the reason I wanted to have this fight is because I wasn't truly satisfied that first one. I took the fight on 6 days' notice, actually less than that, and cut all the weight, flew all the way up to the other side of the world with a broken nose, and still fought this man and dominated this man. And but I wasn't satisfied with the way that I dominated him. I want to end this fight in emphatic fashion, and which is why we're replaying this fight.
Yeah. You've been scoring knockouts. Covington, Burns, you stopped those guys, and he was able to go the distance, which is maybe one of the reasons why we have this rematch first, right? Like before a Covington rematch, you have this first because he wasn't stopped. But you're really, I mean, great MMA fighters are jacks of all trades and masters of at least one. And you seem, obviously, based on your background, to be the master of wrestling. Do you think being a guy who takes it to the ground, you have a built-in advantage against a guy like Masvidal, who's more of a stand-up striker? Obviously, he's got hand skills. Is that always going to be an advantage for you against that style fighter?
Max, I know you're a boxing guy, so I know what you like. But this ain't that. Like, at the end of the day, I'm the best in the world because I'm the best at mixing it up. It doesn't matter where it goes. I put you where I want you. I control the narrative. If I want to box, you see me, I'll stand up and box and I'll jab your eye out all day. If I want to take it to the ground, I'll take you down and I'll beat you up until you quit on me. At the end of the day with Masvidal, it's, I consider that this is like a track meet. This is like a race. I'm so far ahead of all these guys right now. I'm coming around and I'm lapping them. And he happens to be that first guy that's about to get passed up. And you know how it is. You run in the race, a guy's starting to, I don't know if you guys have been in a race. A guy's starting to lap you, and you're the first guy there about to lap. That just breaks that confidence. And Masvidal is about to be that first guy that I'm about to come around the track and lap.
I'm not being disrespectful.
You mean because you're beating him twice?
Yes. At the end, I've kind of cleaned out the division, and now I'm coming around and I'm fighting these guys in rematches now. I'm giving them a shot again.
I'm sincerely asking you this question because you're a champion and you know a hell of a lot better than us, and I really want your perspective about this overall. there's so many times that we've seen it, like, for example, with a Conor McGregor, you know, he made so much money boxing, and as a result of that event with Floyd Money Mayweather, you have people who have looked at him since that time, and they think that there's something that he lost there. I remember when you beat Tyron Woodley, and you were talking about how badly you wanted this. It's one thing to have the skill, but there's a little something extra that you seem to have that transcends just the skill set that you believe you have that practically no one you've gone against really is in possession of. Can you speak to that for a second in terms of what you believe you have inside of yourself that champions on your level may need to have, but some of them simply do not?
Absolutely, that's a great question, and the answer simply is, you know, when we're preparing for all these competition, when these guys are fighting, you know, a lot of guys watch film and they watch tape, and that's it. All right, I know this guy's good at this, and they go in there and compete. That's not necessarily me. I'm not just watching film. I'm not just watching your techniques. I'm watching the man. I'm breaking down the man. I'm breaking down his heart. I'm watching how he conducts himself. I'm watching how he moves. I'm watching his subtlety, the subtle motions of just his behavior. That's what I want, because when I get in there, I take something from each and every guy. Yes, of course, the knockout is great. It's fun for the fans, people to see, and all that. And the submission is great. And yes, you finish the fight, you know. But at the end of the day, for me, I want to break them inside. I want to break their heart, because as a man, that's why they call it mano a mano. As a man, you compete against another man, and this man breaks you inside. That stays with you forever, for the rest of your life. You can be 72 in your rocking chair, and you will still remember that man that broke you that day, that was just a better man than you. And that's what I aim to do with each and every one of these guys.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.